there are a lot of vloggers on YouTube who will make a title that says, "I can't believe it happened again." And then you're like, "Oh man, what happened?" And you watch it, nothing happens. Well, we just pulled up to the Ukraine airport. What is this, Borispil? You gotta go through security before you even get in the airport. So then we gotta go through security again, I'm pretty sure. I guess I'll see you in a few seconds. Now we have to go through another security line. We're boarding in an hour. So the first line is checking for heavy weapons. There's a sign showing grenades and guns. And I don't know if that's always been there, but there is a separatist issue, and some people call it the Civil War. We were told be careful about saying that. So lots of security. Now we're going through security and border control. Another security line. I can't read any of that. 11. New York, D1. So we are flying on Ukrainian Air to New York, and my friend warned us that it's a bad airline. I guess we'll see. I think we had no problems on the flight from Athens, right? It was pretty good.
Apart from the disorganized boarding.
Well, yeah, but
and every man for himself mentality.
Yep. Yeah, I wonder where that comes from. I don't know. You don't want to make generalizations, so we'll just not say anything. So this is our gate, D1, flying to New York, and guess what? A third security line. Did you take any pictures?
No, I got Instagram. It's blocked.
Randomly chosen.
You were on a list, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Guess who is on a list? So at checkpoint number 3, they have a red list with like 12 names on it, and I was on it. So they literally took everything out of my bags. They made me go through a metal detector, the millimeter wave scanner. They questioned me about every object, what I was doing here. They asked me if I was working here. They asked me what I did. I said I was a journalist. They asked me if I was working here. I said no, and they said okay. And then they made me open up everything, looked at everything. They told me I was randomly selected. Right. The American flying to New York is randomly selected, okay. Wow, I'm really surprised that we're on this flight with no entertainment, but they actually have Wi-Fi on the plane. I didn't say Wi-Fi, I said Wi-Fi. See? Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi roll. I don't know what that is.
Still gotta pay €3 for it.
But they have Wi-Fi on the plane. In the New York area. As many of you know, I don't actually live in New York City. I'm in Jersey, cheaper, better. But there's a few things that I need to talk about for today's video, separate from bigger news and more about my channel and what I'm doing. The first thing I want to say, I laughed at the reaction yesterday to the video I made. People were saying that it was an April Fool's joke. They were angry that I was portraying nationalists in a bad light. They accused me of clickbait. First, let's talk about clickbait. I didn't title the video, "You'll never guess what these nationalists did." I didn't title the video, "Look at this thing and circle anything." No, I literally titled the video "Attacked by Nationalists" because it is a vlog about an art gallery that was attacked by nationalists in Kiev. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, still, you should have been more descriptive. Let me address another problem, and this goes into the future of news and how to deal with platforms like YouTube, right? Okay, so first, it's like a 15-minute video. The videos I've been making have been 10 to 15 minutes. In fact, one of them was 31 minutes long, the longest I've ever done. There is no succinct title that I can make to adequately address what goes on in a 15-minute video. I've tried. I've sat down and had conversations. Do we title it, "Today's video, we go to an art gallery," or "Art gallery attacked by Ukrainian nationalists"? Some of these titles are too long, and there's no real, sure, you know, there's always room for improvement. I can always do better. But how do you make a title that's an episode title for a vlog and not, I don't know how to say it. But I will say this. I'm not making news report videos. You are not turning on CNN when you turn on my channel. You are turning on my vlog. And that means you're gonna see my day-to-day actions. You're gonna see the people I meet and talk to. And it's more than just one thing. But what I try to do, whenever I use a title like "Attacked by Nationalists," the cold open specifically shows you that this is what's happening. So the video is titled "Attacked by Nationalists," and when you turn it on, you can see a monitor screen of a bunch of men macing some guy and punching him and hitting him, because I want to make sure that you know that I'm not making up what's in the video. There are a lot of vloggers on YouTube who will make a title that says, "I can't believe it happened again." And then you're like, "Oh man, what happened?" And you watch it, nothing happens. Or there's one where it's like, "Oh my God, my house is destroyed," and you see like a pile of garbage behind them, and that never happens. That's clickbait. Okay, I opened the video specifically showing what's in the video because I'm trying to do news. There's a big challenge in doing news today because the old models aren't working, and I've talked about this a million times. So the plan is, let's make a vlog. Let's make something that's about me and my adventures and the news I'm doing so that people can watch and get a transparent view. So I'll say this. I said in the video before I was going to Kiev, if you're following my vlogs and you watch them, you know where I was going. You can see the Ukrainian writing in the background, so I don't know what else to tell you. You know, it's a complicated issue. There's another important factor to consider in these vlogs, and it's that I'm doing a video every single day. Okay, if I was doing one video per month, yes, you would absolutely have a very comprehensive 20-minute, you know, we sit down with this person, we sit down with this person, we learn about the issues, but that's not what I'm doing, okay? Producing a video every single day means that you're learning as I learn, and that's the point. So I know there's a lot of people who like this and appreciate it, and I think you're awesome, thank you so much. And for the people that are confused by it, this is me trying to explain it to you. But in the past, the videos I've done where I sit around and talk about an issue specifically, or I read a news story, or give my personal perspective on a news story, I used to do those once a week maybe, okay? And no one complained. They'd say, "Hey, that's a great video, Tim." But now that I'm doing videos more, now that I'm doing videos every single day, there are people who are complaining that the videos aren't good enough. So that's the conundrum. On YouTube, channels do not work if they do not produce videos all the time. That's a fact, okay? So I'm trying to figure out, how do you produce content that fits the current social format? And this is the best experiment that I could come up with, and it's working. And I feel great that people are tuning in. But this is just some of the things I have to address, because I think yesterday, putting up that video, I lost about 100 subscribers, which is, it's kind of funny to me because look, a lot of people were there was bot spam saying things like, you know, "You're making our patriots look bad," and things like that. So you subscribe to my channel when you think that I'm on your side, and then you unsubscribe when you realize that, no, I'm just gonna report the stories that I find. Don't expect me to ignore a story simply because it's one faction or the other. It's not gonna happen. In this instance, I have a friend in Kiev who happens to be left-wing, and she told me that her art gallery was attacked by Ukrainian nationalists. And I said, wow, that's messed up. When I see a group of masked individuals attacking a group or an art exhibit, Wow, that's a story. So you can't get mad when you hear about Americans, Antifa, smashing windows and attacking people, but then get mad at me and say my reporting is bad because I reported on other nationalists doing the same thing in other countries, or by the opposite faction doing it. Anyway, for the most part, rant over. There's probably a bunch of other stuff that I should address, but I will say this. This channel is an experiment. This right now that I'm recording, episode 40, this is the 40th video I've done in a row, starting with the stuff in Sweden. I don't know where it's going. I don't know what works. I'm trying to figure out how to report information on the ground in a way that works. So far, this is the best I can come up with, and I think it's doing really well. A lot of people are trying to figure it out. A lot of companies are firing people. No one really knows for sure, and I'm certainly not making money doing this. Losing a lot of money. So everybody who's giving on Patreon, thank you so much, because you give me, I'm able to breathe a sigh of relief. I don't like talking about news stories. I don't like reading the news and then sitting in front of a camera and saying, here's a news story I read. I'm going to report someone else's story. I like going out on the ground and finding stories. And you know what that means? It means that doing something every single day is not impossible. So I'm traveling. Traveling is expensive. I'm doing my best to find stories, to talk with people, to learn about what they think and why they think. And sometimes there's no great story. Sometimes people complain. They're saying, why are you talking to a local volunteer instead of the president of the country? Well, it takes months and years to get access to these people. And if you want to see a daily adventure exploring these issues in various places, that's what my channel is for. If you have watched this far, I assume you're not the person who takes issue with some of these things. And I respect and appreciate all of you, because I have worked for a ton of companies. I have experimented in a ton of different ways. And so far, what I'm doing right now, talking to this camera, has been the most successful on a day-to-day basis. I have seen some of the fastest growing news organizations fail to break 10,000 views in a single video. I have seen some of the biggest news organizations put out 5 videos per day with tens of thousands of dollars in their budgets, and they can't break 10,000 views. And now what I'm doing here with significantly less subscribers and some of the biggest channels in the world, and I'm getting more traffic on a news video. This is awesome. I needed to address these specific issues. I also just got back. Now it's early in the morning, and I woke up and I saw some of the reactions, and I said, let's talk about this and do an update on what my channel is. So I guess the last thing I'll say is my channel is a vlog. It is a personal experience into me as I explore the world and try and figure out what's going on behind a lot of these political issues. I can't always be on the ground for the biggest breaking stories. It's just not possible. In Paraguay, protesters set fire to Congress. There's no way I can get there in time for that. It's just not possible. But I can chase the stories that I think are interesting. I can go to the countries that I think are interesting and do my best. It's really difficult. It's really expensive, especially being in Europe for a month. I was back in the US for only a few days. I was in Europe for over a month. And that's really, really difficult to do. So I guess this is a long rant. I don't know. There's a lot more issues that I could definitely talk about. But I want to say I appreciate you all so much, because like I said before, if you've sat through this to minute 9, or I'm assuming with some of the previous footage I'm putting in there, it's going to be like 15 minutes. If you've watched this far, you're amazing. And you are my best friend, because I'm surprised so many people watch, and I really appreciate it, because it makes me feel like I should keep going and that it's working. And I'm hoping that as the Patreon income grows, I can start bringing on more people and maybe create some kind of visceral, real-time, transparent news experience. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm trying to make it work. And so far it's working really, really well. So thank you all so much for being a subscriber, for being patrons. Thanks for listening to this for as long as it's gone on. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Timcast. Click the like button, comment below, subscribe for more videos, and send me messages, comment below. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.